Hello and welcome everyone to the Catholic College Admission Association Virtual College Fair. Thanks so much for joining us. For everyone in the audience, a couple of housekeeping announcements before we get started. We've got a great lineup of schools for you. We've got the Catholic University of America, Felician University in New Jersey, Moyne College in New York, Carroll College in Montana, Salve Regina University from Rhode Island, and Regis University in Colorado. That will be the order of our presentations this evening. If you have any questions for our representatives, please feel free to use the Q&A button in your Zoom toolbar at any point in time. You've got a terrific resource of 6 wonderful admission counselors who are here to answer your questions, both about the college admissions process and about their institutions. For everyone in the audience, your camera and microphone are off, so our panelists cannot see or hear you. So just use that Q&A button. And we've got 2 more hours of the fair happening after this session. So be sure to sign up for additional sessions. And you can find the schedule at the same website where you registered, strivescan.com/NCCAA. The recording for this session and all of our sessions are going to be available at that same website in next week. So without any further ado, I'm going to turn it over to the Catholic University of America in DC. Take it away.
All right. Good evening, everybody. My name is James Dewey Rosenfeld, and I'm the Dean of Undergraduate Admission at Catholic University. So I am just going to see if I can figure out how to share my screen right now. All right. So take a few, because we only have a few minutes here, to take you through what I think makes Catholic University fairly unique. So you can see we're located in the nation's capital of Washington, D.C., and a little bit about our students on campus. The vast majority living on campus, and we are located actually in DC. What makes it nice is we have a great residential campus, and we have a metro stop right on the corner of our campus. So we are 3 stops from Capitol Hill. We are 6 stops from the White House and the Monument. So you can get everywhere in DC that you need to get to really, really easily and really inexpensively as well. A little bit about who is going to Catholic University. And, so we have about 3,300 undergraduates coming from all over the US, all over the world. I believe in this year's current first-year class, we have students from 45 different states. So it's really great seeing a lot of students getting to know each other, different parts of the country, different backgrounds, and really learning from each other as much as they're learning in the classroom as well. Another thing that makes the university unique is, despite our smaller size of about 3,300 students, we have 9 different undergraduate schools. And within our university, we have unique schools for our size, things like architecture, social work, School of Engineering, a School of Nursing, a School for the Arts. So some really unique programs you don't typically see unless you're talking about a much larger university. 79 different possible majors to choose from. So you can come in with a clear idea of exactly what you want to do, or absolutely no idea, and you'll be part of our exploratory program in the School of Arts and Sciences. School of Arts and Sciences houses about 45 different majors, so a lot of different options for you to choose from. Tend to have very small classes, always led by a faculty member, so you don't have to worry about having a teaching assistant or a grad student conducting any of your courses. Everyone in that classroom, leading that classroom, will be a faculty member, and you're averaging about 19 students per class. So you really can get a lot of personalized education, personalized attention in that classroom. What we instituted a couple of years ago, which is really unique, is this joint advising program that really focuses on academic advising joined with internship and career advising at the same time. So they're going to work with students starting in your first day on campus during orientation, figuring out what it is academically that you would like to do if you already know or you're not sure yet, and then pairing that with different interests. So do you want to try research while you're at the university? Do you want to have internships? Over 60% of our students have at least 2 internships while they're students on campus, and 90% have at least 1 internship while they're on campus. So a lot of different options. Obviously it's a huge area for political science, politics, and a lot of our students will actually intern on Capitol Hill and the White House, a lot of different governmental organizations as well. In terms of what you can do beyond just studying on campus, education abroad, study abroad is obviously a huge option for a lot of our students. 115 programs in 37 different countries. You can go just about anywhere you would like to go. We have some programs that are open to specific majors. For nurses, for example, it's a slightly different timeline because it's a very specific curriculum. So actually in the spring of their sophomore year, they're going to go to Australia. They also have summer programs in Rome or Dublin, Ireland. So some really nice options. But the rest of those programs, and including programs in Dublin, in Rome, and Australia, are open to all majors. Semester long, year long, or summer programs as well, depending on what you're looking for. And our flagship program is in Rome, where we have a campus in Rome, about a mile from the Vatican, and that is actually taught by Catholic University faculty members as well. Obviously, a lot going on campus, over 100 different clubs and organizations, more than 40 events every week. So you have your own residential campus with a lot of space, and you have this really great balance. So much to do on campus, and it's going to be integrated into the city of Washington, D.C. as well. So if you've been to Washington, D.C., you will know it's an amazingly dynamic, fun place, and it's a very young city. The average age, I think, is actually 29 in Washington, D.C. So, you have a number of college-age students and young professionals living in Washington, D.C. Campus ministry is a huge focus of interest for our community. A lot of things to get you involved in the city, in community service, out of your room and meeting each other. And regardless of your religious background, if you have one, students of all backgrounds really get involved in campus ministry. That idea of community service that takes place outside the classroom. Athletics is big for us as well. Great athletic tradition, 25 men's and women's teams. 30% of our students are actually varsity athletes, which makes it nice because if you're playing on a team or if you're rooting on your teammates, if you're rooting on your classmates, these are folks you're actually going to see in class or in your residence halls or in clubs and organizations. So you're really cheering on your friends when you go to these games. In addition, 10 club sports, 16 intramural leagues, and 2 fitness centers on campus as well. A little bit about our application process. November 1 deadline for early action and early decision 1, January 15th deadline for regular decision and early decision 2. So for students who are admitted, when you get that decision, you will hear from us and you'll get your scholarship information at the same time as your admission. So a few things that we will look for in how we review applications. 2 key points I want to make sure everyone knows about. We do not charge an application fee, and we are test blind in the admission process. So our big focus is going to be what you do in the classroom in terms of your grades and the types of classes that you take, the challenge that you take on, and then what you do outside the classroom. Any leadership roles, any involvement, a part-time job, how do you spend your time outside the classroom? Ultimately, we're looking to get to know you a little bit more through the process, and we want to make sure that you're a great fit for us, but you're going to be able to get a lot out of the opportunity as well. Here's a listing of some of our merit awards. So they range from $17,000 to $35,000 to $30,000 a year for most of our students. And then we have 5 full tuition awards for some of our top students as well. So if you do have any additional questions after this, I will be happy to leave my contact information in the chat. And I hope you enjoy the rest of your program tonight. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, James. Perfect. All right, next up, we've got Felician University from New Jersey. Brady, do you want to? There we go.
Hello, good evening, everybody. Let me just get this presentation started. All right, perfect. I was actually at DC, so it is a lovely city, but my name is Brady Fernandez, and I'm the Assistant Director of Undergrad Admissions at Felician University. And for those who are not familiar with Felician, we are located in Rutherford and Lodi, New Jersey. Both are conveniently a quick train ride away from New York City, so we're relatively close to New York City. And we're about 10 minutes away from the MetLife Stadium, otherwise as the Giants or the Jets play at. And we also have a new mall built called the American Dream Mall. It's one of the major landmarks. And location is key. Having Felician close to these major landmarks creates an endless amount of internships available to our students and allows our students to explore fun places on the weekends without going too far. We are a very small school. We have about 2,400 total students. And because of this, we actually have an advantage where we can offer students hands-on experience, and we have an average class size of about 13 students. This is an advantage because professors know your name, and they'll be able to give you certain recommendations or either possible networking opportunities. And Even though we're a small school, we do offer many different tracks. We have over 60 majors and minors, and we have 4 schools. We have our School of Business, our School of Education, our School of Arts and Science, and our School of Nursing. So for those who are not familiar with Felician, we were once known as an all-female private school back in the 60s. Our nursing students get access to one of the best simulation centers in New Jersey, which is located in our Rutherford campus. The simulation center, along with our exceptional professors, have led us to have an NCLEX pass rate of 96%. This is a test you need to become a licensed nurse. And then students become working in our simulation center, working with as early as their sophomore year, and are able to work with real patients during their clinical time, which is within their junior and senior years. Many of our students are hired as soon as they're done with the clinical work because that's how much they're exposed to real life equipment. As for our School of Education, we assure that everyone receives a special education certification without taking any additional courses. We are also offering a new assistant behavior analyst major starting next year. So pretty much what this is geared towards working with students with autism. So this is something that is great. We actually have it as a certification. It's welcome to all students, not just our School of Education. And what really highlights us from other schools is that we start our student teaching as early as their sophomore year. So our students get, well, they get a lot of exposure during that time. So as for our School of Business and Information Science, we have a lot of opportunities within this track. We have a 4+1 MBA program and a 4+1 computer science program. I'm also a former student. I actually went this route and it actually saved me a lot of time and money. I was able to take 8-week accelerated classes and I was able to finish my master's in less than 4 years. So this is a great achievement that I'm really proud of. And then we also offer stackable certifications where are very similar to taking on a minor. These certifications would make you very marketable when looking for an employment. So this is our School of Arts and Science. We include a vast number of different majors and minors, from fine arts to criminal justice to pre-professional programs. We have many different options that fit your career goals. Within these programs, we offer a lot of connecting enrichment opportunities such as United Nations Fellowship, multiple study abroad classes where we go over to over 100 different countries, and we have specialized tracks for different majors. As for so these are some of our pre-professional programs that we have with other schools, where you can complete 3 to 4 years at Felician, depending on the program, and finish your master's or doctorate at one of these joint program schools, where you can initially say yourself extra year of an extra year of school in some cases. For example, if you're looking to pursue our physical therapy program, you would do 3 years at Felician and transition to Rutgers to finish the rest of the program, where it usually takes you 8 years to get your doctorate in physical therapy. Additionally, we are D2, so we give out many different scholarships. We have many different sports. If you are a competitive athlete looking to play one of these sports at the D2 level, please feel free to reach out and I can connect you with our coach. Felician is a private university and we are very affordable. Our sticker price is about $35,000 for our commuters and $48,000 to live on campus. However, none of our students actually pay these prices. 100% of our students receive merit-based scholarships, which our highest scholarship is about $23,000. And we do have additional grants and scholarships that you'll be able to get throughout your time at Felician. Where we give out need-based tuition grants, or depending on your financial status. So as for application process, if you are interested in applying, you can actually pull out your phone and scan this QR code below. You would go directly to our website and you'll be able to fill out our application. We are ruling admissions unless of this our nursing program, where we would need your test scores, a letter of recommendation, and a personal statement on why would you like to become a nurse. We are now accepting the TEAS test because we know a lot of times for one of these tests it's harder to take during this time. So we are taking the TEAS test, which can be taken from the comfort of your home. And that kind of conduct the end of my presentation. Thank you for listening. If you do decide to apply, please use this fee waiver code located in the center of the slide, and I'll be able to answer any questions that you guys may have. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
No problem.
Next up, we've got Moyne College in New York. I want to take this time to plug to make sure everyone knows that you've got the Q&A button on your screen. So feel free to type your questions to our representatives at any point in time. They're a great resource to have, and they're happy to answer any of your questions. Take it away, Q.
All right, so I'm just going to share my screen. There we go. Can you see that?
Yep.
All right, perfect. Perfect. Well, welcome everyone. I'm going to give you a brief introduction of who I am. So my name is Q Lavelle. I'm one of the admissions counselors on staff here at Moyne. I'm the regionally recruiter for the New York City region and the New Jersey region as well. So this first picture here quickly is just an overview of Moyne College. So Moyne College is located in the suburban town of Syracuse, New York. You will find Moyne as one of the youngest of 27 U.S. Jesuit colleges and what we refer as the upstate New York's hidden gem. Moyne is on a hilltop campus, which we call the Heights. As you see in this picture of that overview, that's our campus. And we house about 2,800 undergraduate students and roughly about 600 graduate level students. We are a residential campus. So for all 4 years, we do have residential halls for students looking to dorm on our campus. The city of Syracuse is the center of New York State. It's about 4 to 5 hours from some of your major cities. So in the Northeast, so you see we're about 2 hours from Rochester or Buffalo and Albany, New York. So we're about 4.5 hours from some of your other major cities like New York City, Toronto, Philadelphia, and Boston. So a little bit more about what Syracuse offers. So we're home of the New York State Fair, which is one of the biggest New York State events, which is hosted in Syracuse. We also have one of the top 10 biggest malls in the country, Destiny USA, which is actually also the #1 biggest mall in New York State. These pictures show a little bit of some of the activities that we have on campus, both indoor and outdoor, like skiing, sledding. The middle picture is a few pictures of our downtown area. And then the other picture is of our spring green lakes, where you see a lot of our students enjoy the spring weather. So a little bit more about Moyne. So if you're considering a Catholic college, you probably heard of Jesuit education, but you might not know what that means and what's behind that. So what it means to be Jesuit, you probably hear of the word cura personalis or magis. Both are very important to us. Cura personalis is the care of the whole person, and magis would be doing more for others. In our education, we focus on the mind, the body, and the soul when it comes to our education. So we develop a love of learning and spiritual growth that you'll take long after your graduation period and your 4 years at Moyne. Although Moyne students come from different backgrounds, interests, personal and religious beliefs, the style of education helps create a similar-minded student body to form a tight-knit community at Moyne. We ask why Moyne. The answers are usually very similar. It's a sense of belonging and a sense of purpose, and strong connections with faculty and staff with our smaller institution. So we have about 80 different clubs on our campus. We are a Division II school. We have over 21 different varsity sports. We also have club and intramural opportunities at Moyne. Our average class size is roughly 20 to 25 kids. The student to faculty ratio is 13:1. Some of our most popular majors stand with biology, business, some of our direct entry programs like PA, PT, and some partnerships we have with some upstate schools like Syracuse University, Buffalo, and Rochester schools. So I'm gonna go right into some of our application processes. So our application profile is very straightforward. We're looking for well-rounded, curious, motivated students who are willing to challenge themselves in and outside of the classroom. The average GPA for a student that's accepted to LeMoyne is roughly around 3.5 GPA. One thing that's noted, we are a test optional institution. So if you choose not to submit your test scores, we'll take those students, and we also we have a 95% placement rate after graduation into the work field. So a little bit about our scholarship opportunities. So at LeMoyne, we offer merit-based scholarships. Along with our merit-based scholarships, we have our Promise New York. Our merit-based scholarships range from $8,500 to $25,000, depending on a holistic review of your application. So that entails your recommendation letters, your college essay, all the involvements that you may have in your high school time, and a copy of your high school transcript. Our Promise New York is a promise to a lot of our students is having a mentorship, guaranteed graduation in 4 years, internship opportunities, your first interview with one of our successful alum, and also a $10,000 scholarship on top of that merit-based scholarship. So a little about applying to LeMoyne. We are early action. For some of the schools you may be applying to, that may be early decision. We are early action. Our early action deadline is November 15th. If you do not have the time to apply in early action, we do still have rolling admission, which that deadline is February 1st. And for students looking for financial aid packages, usually our financial aid packages are going out mid-February. And if you're applying early action, often our students are receiving their admissions decision by December 15th. So we strongly encourage our students to submit their application in early action. So I know briefly we have a little bit of time, so I'm actually going to present a quick little video that's like 30 seconds of LeMoyne's campus.
All right, Q, we are out of time. So we are going to move on next to Carroll College in Montana. Thank you, Q.
No problem. Thank you all. If you have any questions, feel free to write in the chat.
All right. All right, Jamie, take it away. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Hey, everyone. Thanks for tuning in today. I'm going to throw my screen up there in just a second. There we go. All right. So my name is Jamie Severson. I'm an admission counselor at Carroll College up in Helena, Montana. Just to give a snapshot of our school, we have about 1,200 students enrolled. We are a diocesan Catholic college. So what that means is we are affiliated with the diocese of the Catholic Church, specifically of Western Montana. We are one of 9 diocesan colleges in the nation. Carroll's a private liberal arts college. And just for a little fun fact, we have tons of dogs on campus, which makes it really fun for our students. So here's a picture of one of our dogs on campus. And there's a reason for that. So we have a program called anthrozoology where students study the interaction between humans and animals. So it's super fun for people in the program. For students not in the program, it's also fun because there's dogs all around campus. So having these little critters all around and being a Catholic school is one of the cool reasons why our mascot is Halo. His name's Halo. He's a Saint Bernard. So he's pretty awesome. So there's this mascot, and then there is a real Saint Bernard. I should have put a picture up there of that, but he attends all of our sporting events, which is pretty fun. So a little bit about our academics. We are a liberal arts school. So what that means is students will choose an academic program. We have about 40 different ones that students can choose from. And what they will do is they'll study that program, and then they will also get to take all of these different disciplines along with it. And studies are showing that liberal arts students, when they go into the workforce, they get jobs at higher rates, and they get promotions down the line at higher rates than people who had non-liberal arts degrees. So we're pretty excited about that, and I've seen it work in my own life and many other people's, just having a more holistic education. So we are also focused very much on mind, body, and spirit. It's not just about learning about academics at Carroll. So we like to encourage our students to enter into these deep questions that people ask about life, about nature, about God, about the universe. That's part of our Catholic tradition. Some of our top programs at Carroll are nursing. We have our nursing graduates last year just had a 100% pass rate on their NCLEX exams. We consistently are in the upper 90% percentile for that. Pre-medical students, so students that study biology. So they are definitely, there's a lot of those at Carroll. We have an 85% acceptance rate in a medical school. So the national average is about 40%. So we're really stoked to be about double that average. And then we have the distinction for the best regional college in the West by US News and World Report. That distinction looks at graduation rates, value of education, and all sorts of stuff. And Carroll has actually held that for the last 10 years, which is pretty exciting. There's no other college in the United States that has held that for 10 years. So it's pretty special here. One of my favorite pieces about Carroll College is the outdoor recreation. So at Carroll, we have world-class outdoor recreation. Helena, Montana, where we're located, is in the heart of the Rocky Mountains. It's super beautiful, as you can see in the pictures there. We are right in between Yellowstone National Park and Glacier National Park, which are worldwide hotspots for outdoor recreation. And National Geographic has actually ranked Helena, Montana, one of the top 20 mountain bike schools in the US. So it's an incredible space for students who like to do outdoor adventures or that want to learn to do some of these things. They can learn to do that at Carroll. And then a livability report also put Helena in one of the top 100 best places to live in the United States. It's a really fun college town. Our students get a kick out of being able to study and then take a break and go hike a mountain, go skiing, whitewater rafting, stuff like that. So it's a great place to learn how to do some of that stuff. Take a break, check out the views. Even from our classrooms, we have some incredible views just around the area. So I think we're really fortunate to have stuff like that. Carroll College has a rich Catholic identity. So we were founded in about 1909 by Bishop John Carroll. So that's who this school is named after. And actually St. John Paul II has spoken about Carroll College, and he said, Carroll College is meant to be a beacon to the church in the Northwest. And a fun fact too, a ski hill that we have right by our campus called Showdown, St. John Paul II was skiing there at one point in the 70s. So it's pretty fun to have that little piece of history with the area. So our campus ministry's mission is just as simple as it is powerful. Our mission is to share the love of God with people through worship, evangelization, and service. So there's some incredible opportunities for students to go to daily mass, adoration, reconciliation, Bible studies, retreats, service opportunities, and much more. We've got this beautiful chapel on campus right here. And our chaplain, Father Mark, is a gifted preacher for college students. And he will go skiing with students. He practices with our basketball team, and he's pretty cool. So we like having him around. And as part of our diocesan Catholic mission, we believe in conforming to the life of God in liberating truth and seeking to be transformed through him, through our education and through the things that we do at Carroll College. And so that seeps into our academic life and into our life outside of the classroom as well. And then, so just a little tidbit about myself. So I am a Carroll graduate, and so I graduated in 2019. I found that there are three pretty distinct characteristics of Carroll students when they come, when they're looking at Carroll, and then the ones that decide to come that ultimately do really well at Carroll. Our students are passionate about what they do. So you'll see students all across the board that are maybe on the football team and then also in some theater productions on the side. You'll see people that are, multiple sport athletes, but maybe like to present at research conferences and have a distinguished academic research career. People dip into different academic disciplines and then extracurricular disciplines. That's really a mark of a Carroll student. Our campus is really friendly. We get it every time people visit from out of state. People are really good at getting to know people that are not from the area, welcoming all those onto our campus. And then I think our community is close knit in the sense that the Helena area where Carroll's at in Helena, Montana, a lot of the businesses and corporations are owned by Carroll graduates. And so our students have that immediate connection with the area. So it's awesome when students can go get a coffee and they get a discount because they're a Carroll student, but then they might offer them a job in the area, and then it leads to more connections. I've seen it happen with jobs at the state level, engineering, computer science, all those jobs. We've got some great firms in the area. So the alumni connection and community support is very real. So then just as a final note, when applying to Carroll College, we don't have an application fee. So it's a pretty quick and easy application. And then we are also test optional. So students can apply, and we will base merit scholarships just based off of their GPA in high school, or we can use a test score if students choose to commit them or submit them. So that's just a little note I want to throw out about our application, but definitely feel free to connect with me about any questions you guys might have. Thank you.
Great, thank you very much, Jamie. All right, next up, we've got Salve Regina University in Rhode Island. Take it away, Nick.
Hi, everyone. My name is Nick Albanese with Salve Regina University in Rhode Island. At Salve, we say that you will learn, lead, and make a difference. So kind of starting out with making a difference, we're founded by the Catholic Sisters of Mercy. And the sisters have given us so many things, but one is our mission statement. And I think we have a very unique mission statement. The very first line written by these nuns decades ago is, "As a community that welcomes people of all beliefs." So our sisters, of course, are reinforced by their traditions and belief in the Catholic Church, but I think they recognize that being a community that embraces and welcomes people from different faiths and different backgrounds only strengthens our beliefs and makes us a more stronger community. So we really embrace that diversity at Salve, and we work for a world that is more harmonious, just, and merciful. Some of the ways that we ask our students to think about what can you do to take action is thinking about the earth and our place in it, immigration, nonviolence, the legacy of racism worldwide and in our country, and really working as a campus to be actively anti-racist and promoting women's rights. And so by the time our students leave Salve, they feel like they have the ability to make a difference in their communities, but particularly in those areas. We're a small university. We have just over 2,100 undergraduate students, and we have about 600 graduate students. So we have about 15 accelerated graduate programs where students can stay on for an extra 5th or 6th year. Some of our more popular majors are business, administration of justice, biology, chemistry, psychology. We also have a direct entry nursing program. So you'll start taking nursing courses on day one. And we guarantee that you'll finish in 4 years because we're actually able to guarantee the clinical rotations and placements. And then we also have some unique majors. We have a Bachelor of Arts in Dance, and we have a very cool program called Cultural and Historic Preservations. Students in that program study the built environment. They take classes in archaeology, art history, American studies, anthropology. They learn how to preserve, protect, advocate for, take care of historic buildings, objects, and even entire neighborhoods. And it makes sense that we have a program like that because Salve is located in one of the best kept historic districts in New England. We're in the Bellevue Avenue Historic District, sometimes called the Mansion District of Newport, Rhode Island. So we're right on the cliffs. We have 6 estates from the 1800s that we've converted into our classrooms and residence halls. Some of these buildings are former mansions, barns, stables, carriage houses. So really interesting architecture and mixed with newer buildings. And we're actually a level 2 arboretum. So we have hundreds of species of flowers and plants on campus, and it's a very beautiful and inspiring area. What I also like about our campus is that it's an open campus. So you're already living in this historic neighborhood. There's no gates or walls. So it's very easy to walk downtown in about 15 minutes. And we also have free transportation for our students. Rhode Island is the smallest state in the country. But it's the second most densely populated. So there's 9 other colleges, there's lots of people around. You can drive over the bridge off the island where we're located onto the mainland, and you're about a 40-minute drive from the capital, Providence, and one of our local airports, or an hour and a half from a major city like Boston, which has direct flights all over the country. But there's tons of things to do on campus. We have 20 Division III varsity sports. We're well known for sailing, men and women's ice hockey. We also have club sports like rugby. We've been national champions several times in rugby, equestrian. We have over 80 student-led organizations. That's our multicultural student organization there at the top right. We have something called the Pell Center for International Relations and Public Policy. It's a think tank that was created by an act of Congress on our campus. And so we bring in speakers from all over the world. We've had the Dalai Lama come to campus, Dr. Jill Biden, Senator John Kerry. There's always events going on throughout the year. And of course, community service is very important. All of our students participate in service, really starting day one when they move to campus, really helping out over 80 organizations around the island in our local community. In terms of admissions, most students have between a B+ and an A- GPA. 25% of our students have a 4.0. Many of them are part of our nursing program. And then 25% have below a 3.2. So I like that we admit a wide range of students. And I think it helps us to have a much more collaborative kind of academic environment. So it's certainly rigorous, but it's much more working together than students kind of competing with each other. We are fully test optional for all majors. We don't believe that test scores are a good indication of how well you're going to do in terms of your grades at Salve. So fully test optional. We're a member of the Common Application, but we will waive the fee for students outside of the Northeast or students that qualify for fee waivers. And then we just require a high school transcript and 2 letters of recommendation, 1 from a teacher and 1 from a counselor. You can apply to Salve in November, January, or February. Students tend to be admitted at about the same rate, and except for early decision, which is binding, all of our other decision plans are not binding, and you have until May 1 to make that final decision. Nursing majors do need to apply by November 1, and we have some special scholarships for visual performing arts students, and so they should apply by January 5. In terms of scholarships, nearly all students at Salve have a scholarship. Our merit awards range from $12,000 all the way up to $25,000 off the cost of tuition. You're automatically evaluated for those scholarships, and they're renewable every year that you're a student at Salve. And in addition to the merit scholarships, we also have grants and other forms of need-based aid. So many students find that Salve is a pretty affordable option, even out of state, for a private college. We have lots of events coming up, and we encourage you to check some of these out to get to know us a little better. You can go to salve.edu/visit. We do have limited in-person tours. We've been able to stay open for the majority of the year during COVID. We actually were ranked as one of the top 10 colleges in the country for our response to the pandemic and doing it in a socially just way. And then we have lots of virtual information sessions, workshops, chats with current students, open houses, and things like that. All of that is at salve.edu/visit. I welcome you to reach out if you have any questions. Here's my contact information. I'm an alumnus of Salve, and I'm actually based in the Northwest. I'm a regional counselor. But thank you all very much for listening to me today, and I'll turn it over to our next presenter.
Awesome. Thank you, Nick. Next up, our final university, Regis University. And one more plug for the Q&A. If you have any questions, we've got a few minutes left, so be sure you get your questions answered by typing them into the Q&A for any of our representatives. Take it away.
All right. Hey, everyone. My name is Dominic Ziolik. I'm one of our assistant directors of admission at Regis University. Before I forget, I'm just going to quickly throw my email and then our visit website into the chat. So if you're interested, if you have questions afterwards, or if you want to come visit campus, we'll talk about how to do that and what we're offering. But Regis University, we are located in Denver, Colorado. We'll talk a little bit more about our location later, but I wanted to start off with our mission because our mission statement is pretty new. We kind of revamped it, reworked it in the past year, and it points out that we are a Jesuit university. I know Lemoyne's on this session, so you heard a little bit about the Jesuit education, but at Regis, we really kind of focus on that Jesuit education to kind of help you learn about the world, but also change the world. Jesuit universities have a big focus on social justice, kind of the big social issues in today's world. We always say, whatever you hear about on the news the night before, you're going to be talking about in class the next day. And we really want to talk about these big issues. We're going to bring a diverse classroom so you hear about all these issues from different perspectives. But that's really kind of the biggest way you interact with that Jesuit Catholic background. It's just a quick info about us at Regis. We're right around 2,000 undergraduate students. So a nice small size there. As you can see, that's our campus, that picture there. Downtown Denver's in the background, but right around that small size, 2,000 students. Average class size is right around 17 students. So you're really gonna get to know your professor when it's that small, when it's 17 students. You don't really have a choice. You're gonna get to know your professor. And then you can see campus size, 99 acres. That might seem big or small to some of you, but it's going to be a 5-minute walk to any building on campus from any other building. We always joke, you can wake up at 7:55 for your 8 a.m. class. You're going to get there on time. You're going to be fine. Might be a little disheveled and not put together, but you'll be there on time, which is all that matters. And then lastly, we have majors in business, education, STEM, humanities, healthcare, all of that. This is really diving into what we offer at Regis in terms of programs and majors and minors. Our most popular program is kind of up here in the top right section under healthcare, is our direct entry nursing program. Direct entry, it means that you come to Regis, you get accepted as a pre-nursing student. You have 2 years of kind of pre-nursing classes. You'll take some science classes, take classes all over. And as long as you do well, you maintain a 3.25 GPA, then you're automatically granted a seat in our nursing program come your junior year. So it kind of saves you the stress from for a second application. And you know that as long as you do well, you have that guaranteed seat your junior year. Nursing is also, because of the direct entry, it is also our only program that you have to apply directly into. So when you're filling out that application, if you want to be a nurse, make sure you mark nursing. There's one program we need you to do that. Other than that, if you're accepted to Regis, you're accepted into every single program. We are a liberal arts school, so we truly believe like you should be taking a lot of classes in a lot of different areas. So your first 2 years at Regis will be that. It'll be kind of that traditional liberal arts education, taking a lot of classes in a lot of different areas. With that, we don't actually require students to declare their major until the end of their sophomore year. We get it. Not everyone knows what they want to do when you're 17, 18. So we're going to give you a couple of years, kind of explore some topics, explore some of your interests, and really kind of make sure you're making the right choice for yourself. But some popular ones, business and computer science have merged. It's a really popular program. Undecided is our third biggest major coming in for incoming students. And then lastly, I pointed out, because it's unique, neuroscience. We are one of the only bachelors in neuroscience in the country, not a super popular major out there. And you also will actually perform brain surgery on rats. during your senior year of that program, which is super cool. I'm not going to go into detail of that, so I don't run over the time, but if you find that interesting, neuroscience might be for you. It's kind of a quick profile of who our student body is. So this is all from last year's incoming class. We have 64% from Colorado, the rest out of state. California, New Mexico, Texas are kind of some big areas for us. 33% identifies first generation, meaning they're the first in their family to go to college. 80% of our incoming class lives on campus. And this past year, that means our brand new renovated dorm to Smet Hall. So all of our first year students are in that dorm, kind of building a community there with all of you living in one area. And then lastly, 32% male, 68% female, which is kind of a typical number. I know that's big on the female, but kind of a typical number for your small liberal arts school. This is kind of, to say it really shortly, our location's awesome, kind of located in the northwest pocket of Denver. As you can see, we're 10 minutes away from downtown Denver, a super cool city, a lot of fun things to do. In a normal year, really a lot of fun things to do. We're 10 minutes away from that, close enough that it's a really cheap Uber ride, but also far enough that it doesn't really feel like you're in a city when you're on campus. I mean, our campus is my virtual background. You've seen a couple pictures of it. It doesn't feel like you're in a city when you're in it, but very accessible to the city. But then on the flip side, if you're an outdoors person, skiing, hiking, backpacking, whatever it is, we have the Rocky Mountains right there. 30 minutes, hour and a half drive. You get some of the best skiing, hiking you can ever want next to us. And then quickly about our admissions kind of process. So we are test optional, so you don't need to submit any test scores. We do have a free application for you, so no fee on that. And then we are on rolling admission. So apply whenever, give us a couple of weeks and we'll get back to you. And then lastly, December 1st for our direct entry nursing program. Kind of running out of time here, so I'm going to fly through these next two slides to get this all in. So our sticker price out there is $51,000, but we offer a lot of aid. Average financial aid award over $30,000. Students are eligible for merit scholarships up to $20,000. You're going to get a ton of opportunity to really bring that cost down. And then lastly, we are offering some in-person visits and virtual visits. In-person visits are extremely limited, but they are there. I put the link into the chat if you wanted to sign up, but feel free to do that. And we also have a lot of virtual programs coming up. That is it. Thank you for joining us, and I will turn it back over to you, Dan.
All right. Well, thank you, Dominic. Thanks to all of our institutions, all 6 colleges here that are with us this evening. We want to thank them for sharing all this great information. And as a quick announcement as before we end up, so this is the first hour of a 3-hour program. So I want to encourage everyone to sign up for additional sessions. There are more next 2 hours. Recordings of this session and all the other sessions will be available at strivescan.com/NCCAA. And also when you close this window, there'll be a very quick 4-question survey. If you wouldn't mind sharing a little bit of feedback with us, greatly appreciate it. So, all right, thank you very much, everyone, and have a wonderful evening.